Hey guys, it was circling and circling. So, what do y'all consider late? Do you think that even 3 minutes is like rude if someone's waiting for you, like on YouTube? Because I do. Yay, Moxie! I shared Moxie's. Y'all make sure you're subscribed to Moxie. She's got some cool insight and some cool people hang out in there. I'm just saying. Do any of you, without being like, you know, hey Karen, Dragonfly, Mental, how are you? Mental Midget, Neener, how are you? Do any of you, have you ever watched the reels or any of the things by Taylor Oldazil? He makes like shorts. His wife passed away about a year ago from ovarian cancer, but he kind of, some of his videos went viral. And now, hey Ricky, and now he's being on podcasts and stuff. And I was listening, sorry babe, that thing is like right there. Listening to a podcast he was on. Anyway, his name is, like I said, it's, I mean, I guess, yeah, of course it's sad, but he's pretty inspiring, his message and things like that. Hey, Berry Hot. So.
What's up, folks? Oh, my hat's on all crooked.
Why?
I think it's just crooked.
You look very handsome. See, I'm going to say that first.
Oh, so I can't, well,
because then
I use the term hot.
Hey, Clancy, how are you?
What's up, Clancy?
It is good to see you guys. So Uggo and Tiny decided to fight again today.
Yeah.
So guess what we did, you guys? We finally did we got a quote for the fence. And we're not e-begging for it. We figured that out. But
we're not e-begging yet.
No, we're not. We're really not. Hey, Ben's mom. Hey, Stitching. But it's going to be where we can put like our laying hens in the, I like that. I love it when Neener says that. Are you going to pen that?
Oh, I gotta.
You're like trying to get to where you should
go.
Yeah. So then the laying hens. I have to get
out of my troll account.
The laying hens will go in this fence. It's a real long length of the yard and it'll be wide. And our goal is to keep providing eggs like to the community because we like doing it. Charging like a minimum, thank you, a minimum just to put back into the chickens. But we like giving, like when someone, like the guy gave us the quote for the gate or for the fence. And we we're like, you want a dozen eggs? And he goes, no, that. And I was like, no, they're free. Do you want a dozen eggs? And he goes, well, yeah.
Yeah, if you're giving away the eggs. And I was Mandy, you named our stream ATX and Tomahawk.
I didn't even change the name.
How many people have noticed that I go back and I change the name of the stream based on, it's one of many things that we do that we think we're kind of unique from the rest of the drama people is, you know, we just our faces talking. And then depending on how the chat goes, I'll change the name to whatever we talked about. And because we have, I would say about half of our views that we get are replay watchers.
Are they really?
About half, yeah.
He's a numbers guy. You know?
I used to think that it was how many, I did for a long time. It's like if you put a bunch of people in the chat, that's better. And I've learned that it's not. I mean, we've had times where we've had 4 times the people in our chat and just spend most of the time like wrenching trolls and, you know, reacting to people. I like it the way it is.
Yeah.
I bet you the support we get from the people that watch us is way more than
20.
I just like our group. I like this, and I just do.
He does. I do too.
But we try not to put no fancy title in there. Like there it is, ATX Tomahawk. You're either gonna come watch us or not. And then whatever we talk about, I will go and I'll kind of fiddle with it.
He does.
Have you guys noticed that? That's what happens.
Yeah, y'all are all the best. Hey, here for the mess. It is. Hey, Robin. It is a
We're simply the best.
See? Oh, do you know, hey, any of you creators like Moxie and stuff, and I'm not going to say who I'm talking about, but when you go into your creator studio after you stream, have you ever noticed that you can see who clips your streams? And I don't think people know that you can see who clips your streams and what they title it in their own playlist. Like they've got a private playlist, so they clip it and title it something. You can see what it's titled. but you can't, when they put it in their playlist, it does whatever. You guys, we have a lot of people that clip our shit. And I don't think that they know that we can see who clips it. No one just like you guys, because that wouldn't really matter. But some people that I'm like, ooh.
Moxie said, so right after you can see it at any time. I don't know if she's talking about what I said, but
just right after, or can you see it? Just talking about the clipping.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just right after, because I went into the old ones and I couldn't see it, but I've been watching the last several streams that we did, and for about the first 24 hours, you can see who clips it. And I'm like, you screen record, you messy people.
Yeah, I mean, Sam tells y'all that all the time. Tells people, record it, or download it, or do whatever. Screen record it. Don't clip it, because you're going to give yourself away.
And supposedly, the only way that you can have the download option is if you pay for YouTube Premium. I didn't know that, but that's another thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got to pay for it? Mandy sometimes has my phone, and I think when I watch stuff on my phone, you got to watch the ads, and it drives her crazy.
Yeah, when you're used to I haven't watched ads in probably since 2019.
You bougie bitch.
I know. Do any of you, I think most people here, some surprising people don't have premium though. And for as much time as they spend on YouTube, I would think that they would do the premium.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't for whatever reason. Yeah, so there's that.
So the fence quote as opposed to buying that enclosure.
Well, yeah, because the fence goes the whole length of the house.
So how long is that enclosure?
Not that long.
Well, I'm just laying it out.
Yeah, no.
Because even if we bought 2 of the enclosures.
See?
Even if we bought 2 of them, they would still be
20. No, because these have gates.
I got you. I'm just saying.
And we're not going to make our free range chickens become gated chickens, because they're our hood chickens.
They're from the streets.
Yeah, they don't want to be anywhere.
They really are from the streets. If you go out to the street right now, there's probably 2 of them out there.
And YouTube TV. You can let them use your. I did with my ex, and you can have up to 4. Okay, yeah. There's a family thing that we could do. Then he would get all spoiled not watching ads.
I guess if I was never watching ads, I guess it would be.
Oh wow, that's a lot, Melly. Go ahead.
So we got an email from somebody you don't today, and I won't say their name if y'all are in the chat. If you're I think they were trying to get in touch with Moxie. So if Moxie, if you don't check your emails for like your YouTube emails, because we didn't for the longest time, or I never checked the ATX Tomahawk email, but someone was like, hey, does Moxie check her email? I don't know Moxie like that. I don't know how she manages her social media, but there's at least 1 or 2 people that were trying to reach out to Moxie via her channel email.
Okay.
So Moxie, check it.
Hey, Irish Bev. Yeah, see, we've got people who are like, I feel like if you were an avid YouTube channel switcher, then you should pay for premium. The other thing, and I've asked a couple of the people that I know, but do any of you if you've got more than 1 account on your YouTube, like we have the couples and then I have mine, are any of you having a problem with it being glitchy when you go to switch accounts, that it freezes up and you have to close the whole program and then open it under the name, because then it'll come up as the name you switch to? Do any of you have issues with that? Because I don't know if I need to delete my app and reinstall it, but it's been doing it for about a week.
See, I don't have that problem. I can swap from mine to ours.
It must be my phone then.
To troll accounts to other stuff that.
Yeah, like when you go to switch your account, you tap on your thing and you tap switch account, at least on my phone. I don't know I guess I could try here. And you go to the next one and then the whole thing freezes, Karen, and then you've got to close it. But when you open it, it comes up. I don't think people are having that problem. It's just my phone, I guess.
And speaking of different accounts, do any of you guys have like YouTube accounts that you use and there's someone out there that just can't stand you, but they talk to the other YouTube account? And it's
I've heard people have told me before, like people that I know that are like, they love this account, but they hate me. They have like no.
Yeah, they don't have any idea.
People. Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy, right? I've always wondered about that. Yeah, and sometimes I think that people might know, but then on other people, I don't think they would. Melly, I think the YouTube Premium is it about $18 a month? It comes out of.
Is it 18?
I don't know. You used to know what it was.
No, it was only like $7.99 a month or something for you.
No. It's seriously, it's like 15 or 16.
Is it? Well, then it's gone up. Maybe 5 years ago it was $7.99.
Maybe so. Hey, did y'all catch on to Tease? I don't know what that one is.
Chicklets, we were just talking about sock accounts though.
I live out in the country on a ranch. And
it's closer to 20. Yeah, that's what Moxie said.
Yeah, that's what I was like, Sean. It's not that cheap, but
I don't look. I just take care of my queen.
Well,
I just do what my queen.
Here's the problem, though. Also,
what?
Do y'all have so many Apple charges that come out of your account that are just miscellaneous small amounts?
So many of
and
them.
You can't even go into like your subscriptions and your settings and find them all.
But there's an app. I'm telling you.
Well, we need to get
there's an app, right? That if you don't know all your little Apple charges, you can download it and it'll tell you.
Yeah, Chicklets, that being short of a jelly. I saw somebody, they left a shitty comment somewhere on one of our things and got blocked. I did see that account.
Oh, thank you very much, Chicklets.
I saw it, and she's saying it is the one and only, the placeholder.
Right, yeah, that's right. I bring the ketchup packets home. That's it. That's it. Do you know that we're at work that we have this humongous bowl of just packets of stuff we had?
Well, you brought them all home one time.
I did because they were going to throw them away. I was like, don't throw that away. That's good food.
Yeah, Clancy's like, I don't think I've ever even had a sock account because I don't know how to link my channels to even do something like that.
Well, they're not really linked. You just got to like flip back and forth. And I don't do it very often, but every once in a while I said, what do I want with this account? And I go in there and then there's got all these notifications, and
really?
So I'll just like do something with it to make it kind of current, and then
to make it like applicable.
Now on X, on Twitter, Elon Musk asked the other day, do you guys still call it Twitter, or do you now call it X? Most people are like, it's always going to be Twitter. But I have a couple. I have a sock account that I've given away to somebody. And I've got a couple others that nobody knows.
You had a couple that back in the day when you were feuding with Gerald Jackson.
Yeah.
And they won't even let him have it back.
It's
been suspended forever. I couldn't imagine Sean saying anything on Twitter that it wasn't as you though.
Well, that's when I first learned that shared Twitter accounts.
Right, boy.
Like there's Twitter accounts that you can share. And Gerald Jackson he was a nuisance in the whole county. Mm-hmm. So there was other people. What was the one dude that I hung out
religion?
With? The other guy that he ended up coming into the community for a second, and he had to go to court against him. Jason something. Anyway, between him and a couple other people in Jacksonville, they were like, okay, this is this Twitter account, and this is this Twitter account, and this is why we use it, and here are the passwords.
Right.
So you could log in and
yeah.
Because the ones that I was using, they got banned.
Like for life.
Forever.
Like for life. And I'm like, can you imagine? I'm like, what did you say? You're like, I don't even know.
6 years ago now that's happened.
Yeah, Carlos Martinez. Supposedly it is actually a person. I, for a long time, thought that it had to be more than one person under this name. I thought it was an acronym for a while.
What?
I thought the Carlos Martinez account was like an acronym,
yeah. And if it's just one person for a while, like I haven't kept up, but they were very, very active.
Yeah.
They were active in some beef all the time.
And now he's settled down in his advanced age. Mm-hmm. No, you don't have it. He has over 50 Centrum.
Yeah.
The silver Centrum.
So in the members only.
That's hot.
Mandy is like, my sink in the bathroom, she looks at it and it's like over 50 Centrum. There's a couple other things and said, this is an old dude's sink. and she thinks it's
and
hot.
I love it.
She thinks it's so hot. And that's cool. You know?
Yep, I think it's super, super cool. Yeah, boy trolls have lots of accounts. But nobody ever finds out who's anyone are. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
they're better
why
at
mess
it
with
than
a good
we
thing?
are.
You know, why mess with a good thing if you...
A lot of people have been Carlos Martinez. A lot of people have been Carlos Martinez. That usually pays the account. We talked about it in G Mango's channel. Oh, okay.
Hey, is G
Boxy.
Is G Mango still around? I know he was sick and in the hospital and out of the hospital. I used to just lurk because he has these late night streams.
Yeah.
And you'd be asleep.
Yeah.
And I'd be sitting there. I couldn't sleep, so I'd just be going through, and I wouldn't talk, but I would just lurk. And there's like 2 or 3 people that I recognize.
Really?
From back when we were in there.
He's in the hospital.
He's in the I know he's been in and out as long as I have known him, or not. I don't know him personally, but of him, which is about 5 years now.
Yeah.
There was a second when a lot of the drama community would go in there
during COVID. I think.
Yeah.
Was like,
I don't have Aquavelva.
My dad uses
I have
Aquavelva.
Polo though. I have the little polos. I got like 6 of them, and they're like it was like a holiday
I got
pack.
them for you like our first Christmas. They've got to sooner or later, but they still smell good.
I mean, I don't have a lot of occasion where I wear them.
No,
but you know,
he doesn't. He's not.
Mandy says she's a sure thing, so
I'm a sure thing. Yeah. When I'm like, "Hey, Sean, I'm shaving my legs," he's like, "Dude, I'm a sure thing."
You don't have to try.
You don't have to do that.
You say jump. The only thing that's going through my mind is how high. That's it.
You're sweet.
It's true though.
Yeah.
He had his arm cut wide. Wow.
What happened?
Let's see.
He had his arm cut wide open. And
his arm was cut wide open because of
he probably
the situation that he's been dealing with, or just something different.
I think he's having trouble healing. I think.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Old Spice is okay. Aquavelva, I don't have a problem. My dad wore Aquavelva for years. Did you know that, like, when overseas, like in, I don't know if it was like Vietnam or Korea, but when they would be desperate for alcohol, they would drink Aquavelva?
Wow, like if they were like down in a submarine or something.
I don't know, but they would drink it or whatever. That's why.
I remember when I was a little kid. And
Melly.
you know,
Donna.
my mother taught me how to use mouthwash. You know, I was probably 10, and I swallowed some, and then
you got tipsy.
Yeah,
my kid did that one time. I was like,
yeah, and people were like, yeah, Sean, that is actually a thing.
On intervention, they had a thing where she couldn't get anyone to get her alcohol, so she ordered mouthwash. Like
it'll do the trick, won't it?
She ordered it through the mail or whatever.
That's got to be a hell of a hangover.
And finally, her husband was like, "You're drinking mouthwash. I can't help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't control you. Stop from drinking if you're gonna."
I remember I was at basketball camp at UNC. I was at Tar Heel basketball camp. Go ahead and say it. You booed at the country club.
I don't know who
the North Carolina Tar Heels. So I went
country club.
I went to basketball camp there in like 1980 or 81, something like that. It was I was about 11 or 12, and I met all like NBA players like James Worthy and the dudes from the 80s. Michael Jordan was like a freshman there. He wasn't.
Was he really?
He was not a.
How old is he?
He wasn't Air Jordan at the time. He was just a freshman. No, he's
10 years older.
He's about 10 years older.
Okay.
He's probably
or
8 years older. He's probably about early 60s, I'd say.
Okay.
And so that's when I discovered, like you're getting ready and we stayed in the dorms. Like it was during the summer. It was a basketball camp, so everybody was home. So we stayed in dorms with a roommate.
Right.
And I was, get ready. I was brushing my teeth, and I'd take the mouthwash, and instead of spitting it out, I'd swallow it, and I'd be like down there in the gym, like
really, and you had no idea that it had.
That's probably how I messed my chance up to go to Carolina.
They're like, Kirley's drinking mouthwash.
He's like, that 10-year-old, we'll nip it in the bud right now, get him out of here. But I went to 2 basketball camps. Went to University of North Carolina, and then when I was a senior in high school, I went to Georgia Tech basketball camp.
There you go.
Yep.
He could have achieved
neither
greatness.
of them. Because when I got to school in my senior year of high school, I was very much more concerned with
You don't can't
girls,
say. Okay, I was like,
girls and weed, and instead of working on my game,
but
because
when
I'm not
I
naturally
repeat,
I'm not naturally talented that I wouldn't have had to work at it, but I had a chance.
hey, Chickless wants to know, hey Sean, what aftershave was it that the had the commercial of the guy slapping it on and then goes, ah, I needed that.
Oh, what was that? That wasn't Aquavelva, was it?
I have
There was
no
one.
idea.
See, she's a baby, right? She's.
It probably was. I had a patient once that ate a bar of deodorant for the. I've been to rehab for alcohol. Mm-hmm. They won't even let you have hair conditioner because I guess there's there's alcohol in hair conditioner. Let me tell you something. There was one person who had some that didn't have, and the ingredients didn't have alcohol.
You keep talking. I'm going to figure out what.
We literally all had like little Dixie cups, and we would ask the person, "Can I have some of your conditioner?" It's a rough time when you don't have any hair conditioner.
Yoga. It might be Old Spice. Oh, Schick. PBG Cat. Schick. That's right. Schick. that was
I'm
it.
10 years younger, so which is not a huge age difference, but it is because I feel like the 80s were a whole different era. Like there was so much that went on in the 80s that that's where when Atari came out and things like that. Things that I don't even.
But so the things that your brother and sister were doing, I was
right.
Because they're, so she had brother and sister that were 10 years older than her. So when they were like 15 and 16 and they were in high school doing all that type of fuckery, they were teaching their little sister and having her. What are some of the things that they made?
They would have me repeat these songs that were that Welcome to My Nightmare. I would go to school and they would say, okay, now say it. And it would be like, welcome to my nightmare. I think you're gonna like it here.
Alice Cooper.
And of course the teachers were like, how does she know that?
Yes.
And one of the other things is
dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Yeah. And signs everywhere there's signs. They said every time you see a sign in the hallway, say signs everywhere there's signs. And the other one was when I got in trouble, they said, go look at your teacher and go, I am not a crook. I had no idea what it was.
That's
but
what's his name?
I was born in
Nixon.
79.
Yep. In 1979, I was 10.
Yeah, it's a big age difference in those decades.
I graduated high school in 1987. And you know what really freaks me out is I'll see somebody like out and you start talking to them, like when I worked at the post office, and you start talking to them and they were like, yeah, I went to high school in the 80s. And I was like, yeah, I was 1987, and you swear that they're way older than you, and they're like, yeah, I was 1989. They're younger than you, and I was like, man, I'm old.
Ink's mom says at her worst, when she was still drinking, I went for the vanilla extract.
Wow,
that is very, very common.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you shut the chickens?
I haven't. I should probably do that now. So you guys have Mandy's got 90 seconds to talk shit about me because I'm gonna go lock the chickens up.
Oh, what should I talk about?
We got to get into a little bit of drama, but just a little bit.
You're her husband's age. It's popular now that you're ahead of the time. And this is what I don't understand. So you can get cooking sherry, like,
you can buy it without an ID.
Right. Hey, Steven. Yeah, I can see you. You can. But it has alcohol in it. Why do they sell it without an ID? Because I should imagine if someone wanted to drink it, it's got alcohol in it. Why wouldn't a teenager drink it or something? Like, maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's no shit to talk. I'm trying to think of anything that he'll see on a replay that would be fun to talk about. No, I can't think of anything. It might come to me in the next few minutes. We have a new dishwasher. This is the exciting things that go on. Our dishwasher had been kept breaking, so they finally just replaced it. And all of the appliances in here are white. And you guys know that we rent. They're all white. My biggest fear was that when they installed the new dishwasher, it was going to be a color other than white. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to deal with that, because if it wasn't the same, you know what I mean? But it was white, thank God. It matched the other ones. But I thought, man, that's such first world problems, right? Worrying about that. The other thing I'm super picky about is, how many of you want your washer and dryer to match? Like, you buy a set, right? I've always been lucky because they've never really gone out prior to getting like another one. But if I think that if I had a not matching washer and dryer, that would be bothersome. Luckily, I've never had to face that. These are the interesting things that you could go your whole life without knowing, but now you know. So yeah, the chickens are in their coop in their courtyard, but we have to shut the gate because things will go in. I guess raccoons are bloodthirsty. I didn't know that until recently, but raccoons can wipe out like your whole flock over one night. We would drink alcohol all the time, and I went, hey, naturally, my body really doesn't matter. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
For a second, I thought that
See?
we were down Uggo.
Oh, no.
I thought we were.
Where was he?
He was down on the lower one.
Tiny goes, you sit right there and don't move your ass until tomorrow. And Uggo was like, okay.
And those the 4 teenagers.
See, they agree with me. Remember when I said I don't know if I would be able to, if the washer and dryer aren't matching models? I told you that would be a thing.
Oh, you told me we got our new dishwasher today?
Yeah. I know. I didn't have anything to talk about.
I was going to tell him to bring a purple one. Mandy would have lost her mind.
Yeah, I was very happy about that.
I've got the fashion sense. The fashion sense that God gave a gypsy. And,
let me tell you something. You know we're animal lovers. We'll save anything. We'll give it a home. We'll feed it at the expense of whatever, right? There is one creature that roams this earth that when I see it on the side of the road, I get a little bit of pleasure. A possum. I cannot stand possums. I don't like their eyes. I don't like the way they don't run when you open the door to scare them off.
She thought possums were little.
Any of it.
When we were living downstairs in my parents' house, a possum was eating the cat food. I was upstairs talking with my parents. Right. Mandy was downstairs and out on the back porch downstairs.
Yes.
And all of a sudden she screams, and of course I freaking immediately jump up and I'm like, what? And she goes, what is that? What is that? And I look out there and it's a possum. It was a pretty big possum. It wasn't a little one. It was a big one. And she had no idea that they're large rats. And see, when they're eating like out of the cat food, they will hold their ground.
Yes, what I'm saying.
They will hold their ground. They will not run. They're eating.
Right. Yeah, that was the other thing. It was creepy, but I also, when I went to, look at Storm, when I went to open it to scare it away, it just sits there and looks at you. And I was like, oh no. People are agreeing. They're evil looking.
Yeah.
Hey, Misty.
I had never seen a roadrunner until I got to Texas, and those things are pretty wild looking.
Oh, yeah, there was one on the street running around the other day.
Do you remember when I was out and I sent you the screenshot and I said that was my neighbor? The one that had played the song. It was on satellite radio.
Yes.
Do you guys remember Paul Davis?
But he's not still your neighbor.
No, he died in 2008.
Oh.
They said so. So I was listening to, it was 80s, the 80s at 8, 80s on 8 on satellite radio. And so they do countdowns so it was 1982. No, it was later. No, it was 82. Anyway, Paul Davis, you remember the song, 65 Love Affair? Do-wop, diddy-wop, diddy-wop, do. He was a neighbor of mine growing up in the neighborhood, and I didn't think he was that big of a deal. I listened to hair metal and stuff, and he used to come to the tennis club, and he'd had a ponytail all the way down to his ass. It was like tied up all the way down to his butt.
Really?
And which was a little bit odd for the country club. And everyone's like, that's Paul Davis. He also did I Go Crazy. When I look in your eyes, I still go crazy. Y'all remember that song? So anyway, that was my neighbor. And
I didn't.
So I'm listening to satellite radio and I'm out working at night and I'm in my car and it comes on and I'm listening to Nina Blackwood do 80s at 8. They still, all the MTV VJs are now on satellite radio. Nina Blackwood, what's the other one?
Is that the one with the raspy voice?
The raspy voice, yeah. Julie Brown, Ricky Rackman, all these guys. And so this one, they were doing the countdown, and you know how they said, and this guy, unfortunately, this was his last hit because he died of a heart attack in 2008. This is Paul Davis, 65 Love Affair, 69 Love Affair, whatever it was. And they played it, and that was my neighbor. That guy was my neighbor. Y'all remember that song?
He's
I'm
had
not
quite
reading the
a
chat,
few
but
people that were your neighbors that
yep.
ended up like going on. I love possums. Of course, I did wild raspberry.
He might have sang so miss. He might have.
And they all have 2-foot long tapeworms living inside them. Don't ask me how I know.
Oh my God.
Draft horse, are you talking about possums? They hiss. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
They don't have possums in Germany. I'm trying to keep up, make sure. Someone else asked. I'm just making sure. Oh, you had it. Donna had a. Was it Donna that had his? Oh, Chicklets had a Zepbound consultation, that shot, the weight loss shot.
Oh.
I have a prescription for it on my profile.
Thank you, Chicklets. You said sounds like you could sing. Mandy will tell you I can sing sometimes.
Sing. No,
and
you
I don't,
can sing.
And when I drank, I haven't drank in 6 years, five and a half years.
You think you're better when you drink?
Well, I have more confidence. Confidence. But I used to do Billy Idol. Like that's when I would do karaoke. I would do like White Wedding and Rebel Yell and Hey Little Sister, What Have You Done?
You've got a few relatives. Where's Andy? He can sing too. His brother can sing. Y'all are
as they say when you're buzzing, grinning like a possum. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I have seen him play dead too. There's something just completely look at Star.
I know.
Completely wrong with something that looks like that.
Yeah.
Graduated in 09. Ooh. PBG Cat graduated in 09.
Wow.
That's interesting. I guess I missed owls. Sean one time accidentally hit an owl and wanted to stuff it.
That was Ricky Bobby that's graduated in 09.
Oh, it was?
That's
How did I?
PBG Cat was the comment above that.
Oh. Yeah, you accidentally hit one.
Owls are dark. Yeah, I was.
So he picked it up.
So, and it's another amazing thing. In the 80s, like Hopewell Road, if anyone's ever been in this area, and I know there's a couple people in our chat that occasionally are from North Atlanta and they know Hopewell Road and like Hopewell Road, Roswell Road, all these roads that are now just built up with, condominiums and apartment complexes and car dealerships. They're just highways. They used to be back country roads in the 80s. And I was my girlfriend who lived there. I was driving from her house. It's about 10 miles from her house to our house, back roads the whole time. And I saw the owl coming from the field, when you look, because they're pretty big, and it kind of like turned. So like it's underside, and it was diving down like it was diving for something, and I hit it with my headlight. And I got out. It was still alive for a second. It had mortally wounded it, and it ended up dying there. And I picked it up and I brought it home, and didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was fascinated. I was going to get it mounted, but then I did some research on it, and there's no internet back in the 80s. You just call around and ask. And the eyes, whenever you mount an animal, you have to order the eyes, and I'm pretty sure it's whatever animal it is, whether it's
yes.
They were like, well, you're going to have to explain why you have a dead owl.
Right.
Right. You're not just going to be able, and you might get fined for it. So he went in the garbage. But
was he big?
I mean, it's pretty big. Aww. As big as a chicken, but with a long.
Sean's such a redneck. Only Sean would pick it up.
I saw a bear yesterday.
I'm gonna take it home with me.
I saw a bear.
He sees bears all the time. I
saw a bear yesterday.
Chicklets says that the way that we feel about, or the way that I feel about possums, they feel about hawks. Yeah, we have. I now know what they sound like. But they get ours too.
I was trying to like.
It made me laugh.
Yeah, because she'd point in the sky. I said, "No, that's a vulture," or "That's a crow." But they make a screeching noise, and she goes, "Like what?" So I would try to be like, make the noise of a hawk, and she thought it was the funniest thing. But then she finally came in one day, and I said, "I heard that screeching noise." And I said, "Well, there's a hawk," and they come around.
I know. Yeah, I got the wrong chickens. 09.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we do now, though, is we've got like big silver water bowls that we like kept, I think, for when the cat would be outside. We can fill them with the water, especially in this time of year, and put it. They don't like the reflection. And that keeps
like a silver,
putting marble eyes,
pie pan or something like that, and it'll keep them away.
Golden eagles on a pole. And if y'all ask a question and I miss it, or you say something and we don't catch it, just put it back in again. I don't want anyone to think that we don't.
So the bear that I saw, I was Oh, is there someone going across the street? They're not stopping here, are they?
No, this is across the street, Sean.
But so I'm driving along, and so this bear was a little bear, and I thought it was like maybe a Rottweiler. And so I'm driving down the road, and there's a fence that's all the way to the road in this yard, and this thing comes around the fence, and he's kind of running alongside the car, and I noticed it was a little bear. I don't know how big like a 1-year-old bear is or a 2-year-old bear or whatever. The one I saw last year was much bigger than this one. This one was kind of little.
And are they black bears?
It was a black bear, and it's about the size of a Rottweiler or so. And it was trying to outrun me, but when I slowed down, it went behind the car across the street behind me and ran into the other yard. But I'm talking about, I mean, we're in the woods out here, but it was like there was a lot of houses. It wasn't like it was a lot of
He sees them all the time. I've
seen them twice since we've been here.
You've seen it.
I saw them in North Carolina a lot too.
And what Sean told me, which I think is so funny, is mama bears will let their cubs do literally anything they want to do, and they'll fiercely protect them while they do it.
Yeah,
like they're like, no.
That's the thing. Like if you see a bear,
they don't stop them from doing anything.
Like the bear that I saw last year, they said that Ricky. People that know about this type of stuff said he was a little bit bigger, not real big, but like they said that bear was probably the mama bear said it's time for you to go.
Oh.
Like the bear cub stays for like a couple years, maybe a year, 18 months, and then when the mama bears, normally when another male bear comes around, she will discard the babies. But not, they're a year and a half old, and a lot of times they'll run around trying to figure out what they're going to do.
Aww.
Yeah. But they're not.
But before that, they're allowed to do whatever they want.
If you see baby bears, like if they come into your yard or you're at a park and you see baby bears, there's a mama bear's close, and if mama bear, if there's baby bears, mama bear's there, and that's when mama bear will come after you.
Yeah.
They're very protective of their cubs.
18 months old. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
My state has no cities, really biggest population, maybe 20. I look it up.
No, we don't have like black ones in Ontario. When I think of Canada, unless it's a city like Toronto or whatever, when I think of Canada, I think of the wilderness. I just do. And there's way more wildlife up there than down here. But we continue to build and push these animals, destroying where they live. They're going to have to go somewhere. And
that's why deer are so much less scared anymore, because they're running out of area.
Right.
They have to get used to people because there's like no place for them to go.
When I was in Louisiana when Katrina hit, right, I was north of there. And then the next month, Hurricane Rita came the month afterwards. And there was so much flooding in Louisiana because there's so much swamp there that it was, so much water and so much flooding that there were animals that had to come out of the swamps that, you would never see around people.
Like alligators and stuff?
Big ass snakes,
that lived out there.
Oh, yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Because it was flooded and they had to come up. They had to come up the higher ground. But
I think bears are absolutely adorable. There's a couple of animals. Well, this isn't really. Well, I guess it is an animal. I think toads and frogs are adorable, and I think turtles are adorable.
Y'all remember the turtle that I caught that I had the other day? I let him go.
We let him go.
Yeah.
When I think of Canada, I think of Dudley Do-Right. Yeah. Remember the Family Guy where Peter Griffin was like, "It's like Canada. What are they doing up there?" Remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. Have you, Stitching, or anybody else in Canada, do y'all have the Family Guy there? Have you ever seen it? They're always starting shit with Canada, like on the show. Not the cast or whatever, but they're always like,
well, the writers.
No one knows what they're doing up there. They're just kind of in Canada.
Yeah.
And it's like, what if we got into a war with Canada and Canada's like, we don't do that.
We don't want to fight. We're not going to fight anybody. But we were talking about. So how many people knew that the helicopter that crashed in the Middle East had the Iranian president on it? I saw it as kind of like a cut line for something else. I don't watch the news.
Yeah, I don't either, so I didn't have any idea.
I had it, and apparently that did happen. So the president of Iran, but he did not run the country. they've got like this supreme leader, this Ayatollah that.
Khomeini? Is it still that
Well,
Ayatollah?
it sounds like that, but it's not the one the famous one from the 80s or whatever. Yeah.
The blind one.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's South Park. No, I don't remember. It might be South Park.
South Park is in Colorado, though.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I mean,
Trailer Park Boys. That's like Nova Scotia, I think.
I love the call of the tawny owl, though. Oh, Melly, nice. He has. Oh, there we go. Aspacia always knows. Ayatollah Khomeini. Yes, he has cancer. That's the one I thought it was. I did know that.
I did know that he is the president, but he really doesn't call the shots. Like the supreme leader, I think that's what this Ayatollah is he has like veto power. He has the say. Like he says what's going to happen, and then like the president is the one that kind of like enforces everything.
I knew that the Ayatollah was I didn't even know there was a president in Iran. I thought it was Ayatollah.
I think the term Ayatollah is actually a name. Yeah, it's like an official title.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he was president in name only.
Yes, the man that was killed in the helicopter. But I didn't know. And it just goes to show that either A, I don't watch enough news at all, or B, I mean, they really didn't cover it in the news that much.
No, it didn't make make the ticker alerts.
I saw it from just like watching something else, and it might have been on Twitter where I saw it.
And then there's an attempted coup in Congo with potential CIA peeps around. Oh my gosh!
Well,
we might have to turn the news on and catch up.
To say that there's a coup in the Congo, that's not really so surprising, because that's in the African nations, they are always overthrowing each other, and one faction violently takes over. And also to say that the CIA is involved is not a stretch either.
They're involved with a lot more than people realize they are.
The CIA is involved in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And the best way to get a country to do what America wants it to do is to try to encourage the populace there to do the coup, not outside. Because then they can say it's their own people. Sure. Well, that's the better way to get it done. Like,
okay, and 2 Americans were involved in that. I feel like we have pretty intelligent people in this chat. They
know a lot more than me. I could tell you.
They all know stuff about
NBA
everything.
Playoffs.
Between all of them, that we're like covered on all topics, which is cool. Yep. And we don't even have to like act a fool.
We don't, but there's a couple things that I want to go over.
Yeah.
Because it was announced, right?
Yeah, I don't know the specific.
I don't know the specifics of it, and I'm not celebrating it. I think Owl put on her stream that she's getting divorced.
I saw the screenshots of people talking to her about it, and
I thought, and the only reason I thought that she had that split from whoever she was with years ago, because she had slipped into Mandi's DMs and asked, things like, when do you know your marriage is over and stuff like that, and that was like when Mandi and I first got together. So I thought that she had already been by herself, by the way she acts on the internet, and the pictures of herself that she puts out there. I thought that there's no way that there was somebody there that would condone that. But I mean, hey, it's a drama community.
Yeah, so, Moxie, there's a screenshot where she had a conversation with someone who was kind of like, talking to her about it. And
Chickless is like, Sean, update us on the drama. I'm trying not to be a total dick about it,
Yeah.
Because Al is not nice about us, and neither, and so we would like, but I mean, a divorce is not something to celebrate.
And
it's not.
Right. I always said, like, especially when he was in his situation when we were friends, I was like, I don't think that nobody wants to celebrate in the ending of a marriage.
Right. And that's what I mean.
But it was funny.
She may be celebrating
it. But what was funny is when, I was saying that or whatever and saying, I can't judge what you're, we'd
be the last motherfuckers in the world to go and say.
Isn't it funny that it's like, then by the next thing, it's like, no, stay separated so we can hook up.
It's like, that's not what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
like,
it's Chicklets. It was on Twitter. There's a few people.
I think the scenario might be that she has a significant other, and she has to say that she's divorced or whatever because people be like, "Aren't you married?" And like I said, we would be the last person in the world to talk about affairs and stuff like that. But I was just under the impression that she was separated or divorced a long time ago. That was it. So it wasn't, the surprise to me wasn't that she was, but it was that it was announced now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had like 3 people message me and I was like, what? I don't. But like I said, we didn't have any idea that she was still married.
Well, but like when we just got together and people were like, wait a second, aren't they both married? And yes, that is true. My thing is like, in a drama community and a channel in the drama community, it to put out there like in your channel that you're going through a life change like that, it's not something that we would put. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a drama community. You're kind of opening up yourself to get fucked with, I guess.
Yeah, I don't.
It was pretty ballsy of her because it makes me think that she believes that all these people that watch her or watch us or watch all the other people in the drama community like truly are gonna like reciprocate like whatever to her. I mean, she has a circle of friends just like we do. Yeah. I would think.
Right.
Anyway.
No, you're look on her Twitter. That's the best thing I can say is look on her Twitter or whatever.
But I mean, Sam and Yaba, they break up like twice a year on social media as well.
Yeah.
And before it even gets around, they've already made up, and then there's a whole bunch of, troll comments. They said, "Oh, we were trolling you guys," but I just don't get coming to a fuckery community and be like, "Hey guys, I'm doing this."
I was thinking today, like whenever it comes up on my feed constantly, the clip, and I'm going to tie it together with the clip of Wendy when she was on Dr. Phil doing the like her promo or whatever that she does. It's whatever, but like when they talk about Sean like forever being attached to it or whatever, it's like she is too. And that was my point, like with the drama community, is you can we all travel in the same circle, but there's some stuff that are imprinted forever.
Right. But as far as the drama, like this YouTube world, when you outside of the YouTube world, nobody knows that Wendy was on Dr. Phil. A few people knew that I was on Dr. Phil. Like every time it shows or something, there'd be something like on Twitter or whatever. Is that, and it's like, I don't even look at it. But
it comes up. Your clip doesn't come up as much.
No.
Mine is in my feed all the time. I don't know how many times put not interested, and it still comes back up.
Yeah.
Yours doesn't come up as often, but that one comes up all the time.
Yeah, because they still show it. And
Renee,
there's still this footprint that of like, I don't know what you call it. It's like a television hashtag, or whatever.
Yeah.
When it happens.
And I think it also depends on what people are looking at.
Right.
Right. But it's, Renee, look at Al's Twitter, and that will help catch you up or whatever. Shit. But yeah.
I mean, there are people that, like Mandy and I, we have our circle of friends, we have our little text groups and stuff like that, and they know a lot of the goings on in each of our families and in their families, we know, but it's not anything that we would ever.
I would never put it out.
No. It's just that I never am. I'm always amused at some content creator that is. I mean, I guess she's fairly invested in her audience. I mean, I know that she's get some support and this and that, but she's always fucking with other people.
Well, and she's like, always ready to go. Like we did that panel the other weekend, and she was ready to go. And you gotta kind of jump on it like that if you're making your coin.
But the thing is,
she blocked you.
She doesn't do, but she's not doing, vlogs that are friendly type of stuff. She's reviewing.
It's about money.
Basically making fun of people.
Right.
All of her streams are about making fun of people, and which is okay. But I would not, that same audience of people that watch you, drag people are not the same audience of people that I would give them some intimate like moment or some major event that's emotional event in my life. It's not the same crowd of people to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Like when I left that other situation, I did my channel about where I was and what I was doing without talking about that situation. You know what I mean? I just,
yeah.
But also everybody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I could come on here and turn on my channel, our channel, and go, "Hey, Mandy and I are getting divorced." I just don't think that would.
We had agreed when we first got together, before probably we'd even actually physically met up, that if it went south, number one, nobody on this community would ever know, and number two, I wouldn't be seen again in the community because I wouldn't be able to travel in the same. Not because anybody knew anything. It would be too painful.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, but like the things that people have known that have happened to us, like when Telfer was going real life and all that, we weren't the ones that put it out. It leaked out because we told a couple of people that we thought was our friends, and they kind of put it out there. And then it was like, well, fuck. Why did you put it out there that this was happening? Yeah. Why did you tweet? You remember who it was.
Well, she said that not long ago she was talking about they were remodeling. Well, I wonder who they is. Look, it's the drama community. I'm just saying.
That's what I mean. I think at some point, I think that she was done with that other relationship, right?
And I feel you, girl. I feel you.
And I think that somebody else is there. And I think it's like, well, before I introduce this person or before I reference things in my life with this person, I guess the logical thing is to say that I'm not with the other person.
Well, that's what we had to do when we got together, because everybody was like, it's not ATX, she's married. And it's like,
but it is.
But it is.
All you do, I'm telling you, if you, it would have been much better if you just came right out there and say,
loyalty is everything. You're
here's my new person. And everyone was like, but we thought this, but we thought that. And be like, yeah, that's what y'all thought.
Renee, I'm not sure. They don't have Twitter. I don't know who you, like, I don't have a screenshot of it. I saw it, but I don't have it. Maybe on our community page, I'll put something out. People are asking. Were you watching?
Someone slipped that to us.
No, Chicklets. Were you watching out? I don't know that Sean streamed the day that she told us she had spoken to someone who knew TT well.
Who said that? Al?
No, Chicklets said that.
Chicklets.
Sean, were you watching Al's stream the day that she told it? I don't know how much you watched her. Do you watch her?
No, I don't watch her. I mean, I don't watch her. We know when she's talking about us, but I haven't listened to her say, like, we can look at her thumbnails and see you're in the thumbnail. And it's always amazes me. People put Mandy in the thumbnail, and Mandy does not have to have a bad picture. They have to take a picture and they have to doctor it all up to make her look like.
And I don't really. She says what she says about us. I don't really take offense to the stuff that she says, even though it can be kind of nasty.
No.
Main reason because it's just like you said. It's her gig. It makes money.
Right. Like Moxie said, for some, let's be real, it's about money.
I don't think it's that deep with her. I think that it's covering stuff that will bring in coin. I do know that they talk horrible about me in their chat. I've never seen it.
Right.
I have to be honest, but I heard it's uncomfortable to the level that
some of y'all that have been in there are like, oh my God. And it's whatever. But I think it's really so what? But I think because of things like that, and we're not the only ones she talks about. She talks about all kinds of people. I know one thing, she's very easily offended. If she was 10% of what she says about people, or 10% about her, she loses her fucking mind. I mean, and I think
shut your whore mouth.
Yeah, shut your whore mouth, and you friendless bitch. It's like
no, friendless bottom feeder. Yeah, you gotta get it right.
Yeah, you friendless. And it was like, oh my God, just take another bong hit. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Thank you, Monty.
Yeah, but because of that, I mean, like you said, that's how they, live. There's a couple channels out here that is, like Moxie said, for some people it's about money. And it's not that what for Moxie. Moxie doesn't do it that for money. We don't do it to pay our bills, but Owl does. So I would say, you got to divorce yourself from a lot of real life shit, life's
Literally.
events.
Literally.
You gotta know what you're gonna put out there and what you're not, especially if what you do is make fun of other people.
Yes.
That's my, it's like Randy over there.
I feel like, hold on real quick. I feel like most of y'all, I appreciate when you compliment us and y'all do drama and sometimes you talk about people, but you don't do it nasty.
Right.
And so because at the end of the day, that's the community that we're in. Anyway, go ahead.
So every time that we get a donation or whatever, I try to make sure that I acknowledge it. Like something will come across and I'll go, oh,
And if we don't, forgive us, we will.
Yeah. And because really you get super chats, but you also get like PayPals, you get Cash App, you get whatever.
And they have notes sometimes.
But it doesn't come across the chat. And sometimes it doesn't happen when we're live. We wake up and whatever. But I'm grateful for it. And we're serious when we say that almost every donation that we get goes to our flock.
So we read one out loud that Sin had sent to me.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason,
we spent like literally 10 seconds. We said thank you to whoever. We said thank you, Sin. Thank you for that. And
it was discussed. So by Randy, because God knows if anyone else is getting donos and not her, or she feels like you've taken one of hers, then she's whatever.
But the thing is that
she says
if you treat people like shit and then they go and they start supporting somebody else, then what are you mad about?
Yeah, the not so much Wendy because I don't have
Wendy's
but Diane and Randy, you did sin wrong. Diane, you also took some things that she told you that and took them out of that area and out of that circle. And the thing is like the situation that came to light that I'm not going to rediscuss. There was more than one person
it's not just
who brought that after Sin said it was not in a Discord. It was said to Diane only. 2 more people came forward and said that they had heard the same story, and I've seen the screenshots.
Yeah.
I just am like, and again, your platform is your platform, but I find it interesting that she wrote a note about you. We read it and it was a donation. So then the topic again came up talking about, her in which she's not bothering you guys. If she sends us a note and says your name in it,
that's one thing.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
But you are still continually bringing her up for reasons or another.
And the thing is like, it wasn't like we spent a couple of minutes talking about it, or the segment of our live stream was about it. I literally thanked everybody that joined the
Hey, Lady of Dolls.
Memberships, super chats and PayPals.
And she wrote a note.
Yeah.
And you don't have to like what she said. That's what she said.
But it's funny that we can say whatever we want to say, but that's what she pulls out of it.
It's because she wants those. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's because you told her to leave. And that's where I keep getting into this, like I label Randy a narcissist, because
they call everyone else one. So
hey, Randy's family calls her one, but the thing is, it's like the person that you discard, right? The person that you discard is they're fine, and Daniel will leave them alone after we drag them through the mud and discard them. They're not allowed to find somewhere they're not allowed to have respect.
Don't worry where she goes.
Yeah, they're not allowed to have a friendship or a kinship or whatever their relationship with somebody else.
Off.
They're supposed to be gone. And I know about this because that's what my situation is with my ex. It's like when we broke up, everything was good until I started my channel. Until I got and it's the same type of behavior over there with Randy. She says what they're saying. It's her platform. This person's gone. They take a couple days. They talk shit, and then they're over it. But then when this person pops up somewhere else in the community with somebody else,
and when you think that nobody is talking to her from your circle, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
So
you're very wrong.
I'm just take that for what it was.
There's a couple of things that have come out of it that people say. It's like, the people that support Randy will support Randy. Randy won't get the same numbers, and that's not the important thing. They'll get more people that watch when Wendy's there. But people will support Randy the same way, because the other people that come in and watch, they don't like Wendy. Yeah. That's the two things. It's like, well, I wish Randy would just.
Everybody says that.
They're like, I wish I've been watching Randy for 6 or 7 years, and because she only gets 1,500 views and there's 3,000 when Wendy's there, I would rather just listen to Randy, because Wendy's, such an insufferable human being. That's what our channel is. When we were, putting people in the chat, it wasn't as comfortable as it is just doing what we do for the people that are in the chat now,
And the whole, when the receipts were presented, of the things that Sin had been helping to purchase in Randy's life, and they said, oh, and Randy kept minimizing, saying it was just groceries. Well, it was a lot of groceries. But one of the things,
how do you minimize someone buying your groceries?
Was making sure that Jim, who you've brought onto the platform, you've talked about him, he's been on you,
he's been on
now
here,
there.
So he's
I will
here.
say that Al has never brought her husband, so there's really not a lot to talk about. But you have. She bought his favorite snacks. You don't make enough coin on here to get your man who's at work, because you like to challenge, you like to always comment on Sean's manhood and everything else. You didn't make enough money dragging people to buy him some snacks. You had to have someone else buy his snacks and his ice cream.
Yeah, take care of your man, dude. I mean, Mandy takes care of me. The dude is like 50 years older than she is. Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
It's
and
the,
again,
it's the
if you don't want things talked about, then don't bring them into the situation.
We have no problem bringing it up every time. We don't plan to say things that are like, oh, but then we got Randy took that little tidbit out of it and she ran with it. It's like, oh, well.
Yeah. Just don't worry about what she's doing.
Yeah, don't worry about what Sin's doing.
After the public execution you gave her and the things that the three of you have done, then just don't worry about what she's doing or where she goes. And don't worry about who she supports. Don't be salty because it's not you. You know what I mean?
Don't be mad that nobody else even has your back when you come for us, because we're not worth it.
Yeah, everyone misses B. Yep. B was a cool chick. She really was. I don't know.
That's true.
Just one in the long line of unresolved relationships that have gone by the wayside, and they've gone and nobody knows how it happened or whatever. But
every single person that you treat like shit can
come
right over here. You know, they can come over here and they can chill with us. We say that about the people that what's her face is freaking, they've had enough of that. People come over here. Or wherever they come from.
Ing's mom says the narco I was married to told me if he had to listen to my voice for the rest of his life, he'd rather die. That is on loop in my head all the time. So now I hate my voice too. You don't hate anything about yourself. Don't let them get in your head. And I wasn't laughing at what you said. I was laughing at the watermelon emoji of dolls and critters.
The thing, Inked Mom, is I've been there. I know what it's like when the narcissist says stuff to you. Now, for me, I can only speak for myself. When I was, in a trauma bond, you're healthier away from that person. But it's like a drug. It hurts, and then they hurt you, and then they discard you, and this and that, and then they wait till they think you've had enough, and then they may try to pull you back. They think they got some other source of supply, but when that doesn't work out too well, they want you back. But what if you've been a victim of narcissism, what you have to understand is if you thought they loved you, if they thought that something was there, they didn't. Right. And once you realize they're just there to hurt people and this and that, once you truly find, and for me, I two things happened. Number one, I started to realize it because I got some support. And number two, I had someone walk straight through into my life that started, treating me with respect and self-worth and taking care of me in ways that I'd never been taken care of before. And She just happened to be in this community.
Yeah.
And for a narcissist to see that happen with a face that they know and to quantify, to go and pick up, what they've tossed away and treated like shit and to see them thriving, is excruciating for them.
I think that because you said it's kind of like they see you as a property. That not property as in like, but like, okay, that was my find. That supply.
Hey, Lizzie.
My supply. That's not, and it doesn't, that my gig. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So that voice that you say, you hear that voice all the time, it will fade. She said it would be 25 years today.
Yeah.
Neeners is like, yeah, that's it. And the thing is the realization that, because what happens is there's such a illusion. Like when you're in a trauma bond and you're off somewhere, you're trying to stay away and to try to live healthy. It hurts like drug withdrawal. That's how it feels.
Told me in the beginning,
it was like, if you just go back, it'll feel okay. Just it'll make everything okay to take that dose again, knowing that it'll be worse the next time. I mean, I had police officers.
When did you finally accept that the last time?
Yeah, well,
because you never
police
accepted
officers
her
sit
she was
there.
a narcissist.
Well, police officers, their job is not to make you feel better about yourself. Their job is to say, like, look, this is what's gonna happen.
Thank you.
Because, if you keep doing this is what's going to happen. Just like they would tell an addict, if you keep choosing this is eventually what we're going to have to do. Right. So that was part of it. I got a little tidbits of advice from one cop. He's like, do me a favor. You don't know me from anybody else, but he was a veteran. And he said, just don't give this person another penny.
Make them go get it from
court
if they want it.
He said, and well, two different people. One said, don't give another penny. Another person said, once they reach out to you, before you answer them, just wait one more day.
Was that what the police officer said, or the NARC group?
The NARC group said that. The police officer's like, don't give them any money. You let the judge figure that out.
Okay.
But the NARC group was like, when they reach back out to you and they type something or they text you or they whatever, don't just sit, just don't do anything for 24 more hours. Just wait. Whatever you do, don't answer. And they will lose their mind and they'll go right back to what they were doing before. And it was so true.
Yeah.
But
5 years. 24 hours or 5 years.
The good fortune that I had. That's why when it comes down to the drama community stuff, I said I won. I won as far as this bullshit goes because of what I went through, and everybody watched me go through it and then come out on the other end with her. Whether you like Mrs. ATX or not. This guy freaking won the lottery. He won the fucking lottery.
You finally saw yourself the way everybody else saw you.
And I was, but yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Like for whether or not people agreed, thought that the relationship was no doubt toxic, and it was toxic on both parts. But they would see you and be like, dude, what the fuck?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Everybody, even people that didn't like me were like, what the fuck?
What can she do that is going to be enough? Like, what is it? Yeah.
Do you have to go back to jail again?
Right.
Because that's what would have happened.
Yeah.
So, for Inked Mom, I'm not trying to like say something to make you feel bad, but 25 years and that voice is still in your head. Just try to understand that person ain't shit that's saying that to you. That person can't even comprehend your emotions.
Yeah.
That's just a voice that and once you understand that person ain't shit, that voice will go away. Mm-hmm. It'll go away. I hope you found someone in your life that treats you with the respect that you deserve, though.
Yeah. Karen,
I was lucky. I was very lucky.
A lot of people may not know, Karen has been there, done that, Sean. I had the entire sheriff's office tell me if I stayed another day, I'd probably be dead.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They put me up in a safe place and arrested his ass immediately. That's someone who actually went through it. People that have gone through that, and that's not my story. I have never been in a physically abusive relationship, but the people that is their story, they're not obsessed with making random people on the internet believe that what they're saying is true. It just is.
Right.
It's just, it is something that happened. They have stuff to offer to the conversation. But Karen has said before, she never wanted to utter his name again.
Yeah.
Never.
From what I understand.
Thank you.
From what I understand, and I haven't seen or watched any of that, but I do have a group of friends that keep up with it. And it's like 6 years later, it's futile. It's the same
shit. It's
the same thing, you know. It's the same shit over and over. I'm long gone. It just so happens that we're in the same community.
Right. And if you truly believe that it happened, Beast, go get yourself some help.
Right.
If in your mind you've convinced yourself that everything that you say is true, then it's probably time to get some after-action counseling because it's been a long time.
If you sit down with a doctor or a healthcare professional or a mental health professional that you could actually convince that anything that you're saying isn't a fucking lie, they would say, okay,
let's do the work and move the fuck on.
Let's do the work. I believe your story. I believe your bullshit, but I'm not going to I'm not going to support your pity. I'm not going to support your oh, woe is me.
And get off
if you really, if I believe you, so this is what I can do to help you.
Right.
And that's,
Right. That's exactly, I mean, that's exactly right.
And that's what I think I probably, without knowing the actual truth, is probably what's going on. You go into a therapist, you go into a psych, are you going to a medical doctor? How long ago? This happened last week? No, it happened in fucking 1842.
Yeah, there's 78 of you watching. If any of you are new to the arena, he didn't just leave. It's been 5. We've been married for 3 years. It's been 5 years. And if we want to mention it on our stream, we will. But it's been a really fucking long time. And literally, we don't watch you.
I mean, I was just thinking about, to Mandy, I was like, in July, we will have been in this house 3 years. In this house.
Yep.
And we spent a couple of years in Texas almost a couple of years before we got here.
Yeah, she wants people to hate on you guys. People can look at us and go, okay, they can be dickheads, but it's certainly not like... Mama Ricky said one of the coolest things I've heard in a while. They said, first of all, if you've watched ATX for any length of time, do you think for a second that she would let anyone do anything to her? I mean, most people that know me, it's just, they know, and I'm not one of those to be like, if he touched me, I'll lay him out. Not bullshit like that. But people that know me know that I wouldn't fall in love with someone like that. Like be like, let's leave all this behind. And it's just,
and even if she did fall in love, like she did, by now she'd go, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know, she'd be long gone.
Chiclets. See, on all these narcissistic issues, the man was horrible and he was the first man I dated in years, and I'm happy to see. Yeah, it's amazing how many people have been involved in a relationship like that and didn't know that it had a name. Didn't know that the person had, they just, it's weird. It's
10 years, guys.
Thank you, Misty.
10 years.
Yep, Karen.
I don't say that, and I don't say that to brag, but 10 years it took me to frickin'. And here's the other thing. I could go around thinking that I wasted 10 years, because honestly, in all aspects of like maturing and getting wiser as you get older, was put on hold as I was trying to take care of that toddler, that emotional toddler. But had I not spent every second there in that, enduring that, learning from that, Mandy and I wouldn't have crossed paths. If the drama community wasn't a thing, she would have never saw my videos. She would never saw them. She would have never got interested in me. She would never develop a friendship with me. And then when I walked out of that relationship, she wouldn't have taken the chance that she did. And for that, I wouldn't change a thing because of that.
Thank you.
Because of that.
Yeah, no, it happened exactly the way that it was supposed to happen for us. If one of us had just one different step, it would have changed everything. And
20 years ago, you guys that have kept up with us, 20 years ago, almost 25 now.
Amby, it's good to see you.
During 9/11, like 1999 to like 2001 timeframe, we lived like blocks away from each other. But she was a 20-year-old mom with toddlers, and I was a 30-year-old lieutenant with my family.
And I didn't have a dishwasher, and he had a dishwasher.
Yeah, I had a dish. I mean, she could have come over and washed dishes at my place, and who knows what would have happened. But even then, it just wasn't right for us to cross paths.
That wasn't the state I was in. I wouldn't,
There's got to be at least once or twice where we were in the PX together. Or in the shop in the commissary together. And it just wasn't the time. It just wasn't the time.
Andy says everybody knows the truth, even without the proof. No one listens to her anymore. That animal. So every time someone is touched, there is a mandatory arrest. She said her mother beat her, then she said she didn't. Good
That's
to
right,
see you,
Naturally
MB.
Vain. Naturally Vain said, keep smiling in victory. That's right.
I'm not sure about the white comment, Donna. I don't see your comment in white, so I don't know what you see. Yeah, Karen, did you see what Karen said? That she has hold on, a wonderful man now, and her life is amazing, and I have no desire to talk about it or move on. The beast has no clue, and she's a total liar. Regarding your man, Karen, Sean says, let him go fishing.
Let him go fishing.
We have a running joke.
And Karen was one of, when I was with, I mean, Karen and I go way back. We go back to when I was with my ex, and Karen was trying to support that scene.
Oh.
And when I left, I don't, what event that caused Karen to leave? Was it the
your
dog
service?
Tag? My service, yeah.
So there's a
whole lot of people in here.
There's a couple of pieces of advice that can shoot that direction. Number one, quit going for a service because you lose any support you get with new people when you go for a service. There's the first one. The second one, quit fucking with your hair. You don't know how to do blonde. The shit is going to fall out of your head. You're one stray match away from a Roman candle going off. Go get that shit fixed.
That'll be my fault. When it happens, it'll be my fault.
Go get it fixed. Leave the shit alone. You've got granny hair right here. No offense, y'all have white hair. You've got granny hair right here. Then you got every color in the rainbow at the bottom. Go pay to have it fixed. But you apparently have got some coin.
There's one,
right?
That's probably too much. One rule. Just start with this rule. Rent before Botox. Rent before Botox.
Donna, his military service. When she starts going on that and accusing him of stolen valor and this and that, even the people that want to give her a break are like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. And then they bounce.
That's never worked with anybody that's messed with it. It's never worked. Just ask Angelo how that worked for him.
Yeah, it's incredible to me.
Is this I pinned it.
But tell me I'm not wrong. She needs to leave the shit alone.
So MB Rays, did I say that right? She says, ATX Tomahawk, I don't want to interrupt, but I never caught you live. I love when your stories about the chickens, by the way, looking awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We love our chickens.
We love our chickens, man. We
really do.
And we appreciate you watching because of the chickens.
Yeah, our chickens our roosters have been bad and they're scaring the neighbors. They're not really hurting each other.
They're fighting each other and they're not really hurting each other, but
it's our fault. Let me tell you why it's our fault. And chicklets, you probably know this. Uggo is the younger one. We got the egg from Karen. We hatched it, the whole thing. It's been a little over a year. So he had these barred rocks that we got that grew up and became his barred rocks, right? Yep. And Tiny did his thing, had a bunch of hens, and he had his barred rocks.
So Uggo had 3 barred rock hens that were his.
We had no idea. And I think this is what happened, that when we had the 3 laying barred rocks and we gave them to someone who they needed eggs, yep. They're food insecure, it was a bunch of reasons. Well, those were Uggo's hens, and Tiny didn't give him any hens. So then Uggo and him are going head to head over these 11 hens that are all Tinies. Yeah. And we did it. And there's
10 of them.
We're trying to get these teenagers old enough that those can be Uggo's hens because they didn't fight when Uggo had his hens.
Right.
So there you go.
And anyway, so that, yeah.
Right. No, doesn't even know the definition of stolen valor. There's no stolen valor in it.
Yeah. Ink Mom was like, he's laughing about, I think the Botox, rent before Botox.
Tiny is
Bills before Botox.
I know.
B before B.
What was the other thing? And I do know salons in Texas. So if you're in Austin, I don't know if you're willing to shell out the bucks for it, but seeing as, I lived there, I can hook you up, but probably none of them will touch your hair because you fucked over everyone.
Because you come and get your money back. Chicklets, the top rooster is Tiny. He's our Copper Moran. He's our first one. He's our oldest one. And we've always pretty much been able to, when the chicks end up being roosters, we always would keep them to a certain age and we would find homes for them. But it just seemed like Uggo was going to be okay.
Yeah, but we took his hens.
We took his hens and we messed that up.
We live and learn. We've also learned.
We do have a plan though.
We do have a plan. We've also learned our fence is Uggo's going to have his little area with his hens. The other thing, that we've learned, and I'm sorry, please don't sue us, Tractor Supply. Any A lot of them. I would say at least a fourth to maybe half.
No. It's more than that. It's more.
No, I don't know. You think it's
the only ones that we have
curious
left?
kitty.
The only ones that the Orpingtons.
And
they're
let
healthy.
me explain. And I think they're from a different breeder,
a different hatchery. So it's not really Tractor Supply, but it's rather the hatchery they're getting them from.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's something called that we're pretty sure it's Merrick's, and it's something that they can contract when they're young, and they can have it for months and months and months and not have symptoms of it, but then it manifests, and then you'll see they're kind of paralyzed. They're and it if you put them up to their food and water, they can live for a pretty long time if you sit there in a system. We have never, and we have hatched a ton of chickens, never ever had one that actually got sick and died that we've hatched. Some of them have been taken by hawks and different things. Never, ever, ever has one in the 2 years we've had chickens, 3 years,
2.5.
had it happen. But all of the ones from Tractor Supply, I'm going to say a fourth. He says more like half or 3/4 eventually get this thing. So they have it, and it's supposedly contagious, but ours that we hatched, we never had it.
No. It was a...
Right?
It was...
Yep.
Just one of those things where I said, hey, these ones,
chicklets.
We were trying to figure out how, because Merrick's can be something that the chickens get when they're babies, and it doesn't manifest until they're much older. And I was trying to figure out what it would be, where it would be, where we could nip it in the bud, right? Like, is it, where can we stop it? And I started to trace the history of all the birds that have had it. And every single one of them were birds that we had got from Tractor Supply. But I have other birds that I got from Tractor Supply that not very many, but are fine, and they're okay. And then working at the post office, I knew that there were a couple different hatcheries that Tractor Supply gets them from. And I think it's one of the hatcheries. I won't mention the name of it, but
No, I know what Donna says. Did you see my comment about, I think she meant public affairs officers. They are the face of the command for the media, and shit rolls downhill bad if you mess up. So someone, I'm not sure about that.
MB Race was, like she said, back to, as I said, Sean, I was the one that bought her daughter's prom dress and gave money to start a new business. But as soon as she started acting very weird, I left. I just wanted to explain that I felt sorry for her. We get that.
I remember. You did a lot.
She said she wants to explain. We get it. There's nothing. She said she just wants to explain. You don't owe us thank you for that, but we get it.
Yeah.
We get it. And that it happens to everybody.
Except hardcore and flirtylicious, you can fuck off forever. You probably learned your lesson, but you can still fuck off forever. Y'all said some nasty, dirty things. Anyways, see, that was the drama that I did. Yeah, that's what I was. Andy, I missed. He said something when she goes for Sean's service. It says everything about her and the fact she couldn't even make it through boot camp. Sean served 23 years, was in a war. She should be. Ooh, see, Sarah. There's Carlos. Tiny, you're right. Tiny is adorable. Tiny is our little old man. He's looking a little ragged, not just from fighting with Uggo, but he's getting old.
And then when they get tired, they're kind of like jogging after each other. One's one, the other one's right behind them.
And afterwards, Uggo's like
they're
walking.
Both sitting there like.
And then they'll do it again. And then they start the shit. And the hens will just be eating. I'm like, what are the hens doing? And he's like, they're just eating.
Girls, they're fighting over us.
And then Rufus the barred rock with the bad leg is like ba-boink, ba-boink, ba-boink on all the hens. He's like, while your boys are fighting, I'm going to take your chicks. They're going to be a bunch of barred rock babies hatching. And y'all are going to wonder which barred rock, and it's me. I got a bad leg, but I can still jump on.
Yep, I can still. You guys sitting over there, if I'm lover, not a fighter. That's what Rufus is saying. Rufus, for y'all that don't know, he's the third rooster. And he's got a lame leg, so he can't really be dominant.
We think he survived Merrick's.
We think that,
as a matter of fact.
Yep. He's the only barred rock that survived.
Yeah.
And when they're out fighting, he's banging the hens.
So hopefully they won't sue us. But if you're thinking about getting chickens, I would suggest not getting them. Well, yeah, I would suggest not unless you know the hatchery they come from and they have a good reputation. Because our Orpingtons that are okay, they came from a different hatchery than the common chickens. And I say common because I mean, the ones that are fairly common are Americanas and that kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Those are the common ones.
Well, they get whatever they can get,
Yeah.
but black dragon, I thought that black dragonfly has been in here.
She has been in here. She might have stepped away.
She was just saying.
She was saying that she had bears on her property too.
Ah.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Moxie's like, we all go through the sympathy.
It's like a revolving thing. And then I get lots of messages. This is like checking emails where people are like, I found you through whatever and I just don't see it. And I'm like, no. They're like, I just don't see any aggression. And I'm like, there's not.
It doesn't, I don't watch that. So I don't know who's in that chat and who's supporting. I don't keep up with that. I don't watch the chat. I don't watch her, so I don't see a chat. So when people come over and are like, hey, this is my situation. Mandy may know if she's talked to someone that's watching her, but I won't. And you're welcome to come over here.
Tiny's a gigolo.
Yeah, he is.
He gets lots of, well, I guess you can't call it ass. Tail feathers.
He gets tail.
He does a lot. And he's like, Uggo, Rufus, I can't help it that I'm the man. There's nothing I can do about it. Y'all are young. You're inexperienced. You don't know what you're doing. That's why I got all the bitches.
That's why I got them all.
No, for real though. All joking aside, we do love our chickens.
Yeah.
Sean had a few things that he loved when we met. Some of what she had lost, his baseball cards, his chickens, ducks, but I'm not, the ducks are messy.
The ducks are messy. You got to have a bigger yard.
I think that was the main, and probably some clothes because you left with like what you could throw into anything. But anyways.
Whatever I could fit into a Mustang.
So one day I was like, and I'm not saying, oh, go me or whatever, but I was like, they have rent-to-own chicken coops on my way to work when I worked that way. And I was like, so on Saturday I said, are you open to it? And he was like, yeah. And we went and ordered it that day. And they brought it in December. And then we waited closer to spring to get chickens. But I love the chickens. I was just really doing it because it was something that had relaxed him and things.
Yeah.
And then
I thought there was going to be a problem because
I don't like
the hours that I was putting in the post office.
Have a good night, MB.
MB, thank you for coming in and come back. Come back.
A lot of vent. There you go. He gets a lot of vent.
A lot of vent. Who said that?
Chickens.
A lot of vent.
Sarah. In case y'all don't know, a vent on a chicken is the coochie.
Yeah.
Right? That's right.
Everything comes out of there.
Really?
Like, when you're...
The poop and the
like when you look at the vent, I think they poop out of it. I think. Like when you're trying to figure out if it's a male or a female, you look at the vent.
I don't look at it.
Well, there might be 2 holes in there, but I mean...
And then we were told that if you hold it upside down like this, if they kick their feet, it's a rooster. If they retract them, it's a hen. We've heard everything under the moon. You know what I mean? Like moon and stars or whatever.
So MB is from Belgium. She said have to go
I was going to
early.
say that. I was going to say,
Nice.
I knew she was from somewhere. Oh my gosh. So, and then the baseball cards, we stocked those back.
Yeah, I thought that.
Not the same ones, obviously, because.
I thought that, I got my 1956 cards out. I have about 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the 1956 top.
You still had those.
I got away with them too. So that, and
they went into the storage unit.
They're 70 some years old, those cards. So.
Yeah.
But, I didn't think because of the hours in the post office that, Mandy takes care of the chickens during the day when I was working. So. Yeah,
it's nice to have him back though. Hey, Presley.
Hey, Presley.
Let me see. I'm going to put the thing for that. If y'all want to see, when we dipped in to get his stuff and dipped out after we hired an attorney, let me put the link in there. This is the reason she tried to file an EPO because we were in town 10 miles away, and 3 months later she got pissed off. Hold on.
We go into court and they said, when this happened, this happened.
And she kept going, it's my town. She said, it's my town. It's like, you don't own the town of Jacksonville. Moxie said, I don't want to see, where's Presley? Where are you? I see a space. Oh, there she is. Hello, beautiful. How are you doing? Robin thought that was funny. Yeah, I'm like, what? And I'm like, I was like, we literally were back in Texas. It was 2 months early and we got served. And I was like, we literally went in, got an attorney, got everything out of a storage unit, hit the road. And then this restraining order that she wanted was 2 months later saying that we were in her town.
So she files it in February.
I know chickens don't pee.
We ended up, by the time the court date came around, it was like the end of March, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was literally 4 months after we'd been there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The judge was like, this happened last week or last month? No, it happened in December.
That's the link right there. So don't go yet. But when you do that, I'm going to try to, so I know you can see all of our videos, but I'm going to start
representing them or whatever.
Some of them, because I know sometimes it won't come up in a suggested thing. But yeah, good times. I was like, Lord, we just want to get married. That's all we want to do.
Could you please sign the papers?
We were can you please parole Sean from the devil?
That's the control of a narcissist. They're like, I just want to be done with him. I just want him, blah, blah, he did this, he did that. He swung off the top rope and came through the window and, cracked my vertebrae and gouged my eyes out. I said, well, here, you can sign these papers. I'm not signing those. I'm not. Well, you just said you don't. I mean, I'm not signing those. It's like just, and our attorney did a very good job of bringing that up.
Well, then she wanted money, but she ain't going to get no money.
Yep. That's all about control.
Yep. She's filed on every single person in the state of North Carolina at one time or another. Yes, exactly. Y'all, like I said earlier, make sure you're subscribed to Moxie.
Yeah.
Presley also goes live every once in a while. She went live the other night. I didn't see the notification, but I found out the next day she had gone live. And yeah, anybody in here that does that, stab you in the back with a screw. Yeah, I heard that. There's now a baseball bat and thing. I don't think Sean's had a baseball bat since he was 14 years old or something.
I brought one home from the
but I'm talking about you found that at the thing. But like, did you ever have a baseball bat in any of those things?
Not when I quit playing baseball, which was when I was about 16.
So there you go. I don't. But hey, if it pays, then there you go.
Yup.
So, she's afraid y'all were going to be happy. And yeah. And that
it's not even that she's afraid of it. It's forbidden.
He's not supposed to have
It's unconscionable that I have any degree of respect from anybody, any degree of happiness, any degree of success. I'm telling you right now, guys, I could live broke as a joke in a tent out back there in the woods with this one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we really could.
Yeah.
And that's really...
When you're at that point, like, seriously, like if he was like, we're not going to renew your lease, which he wouldn't, because unlike some people, we pay our shit and we're good tenants.
Yeah. Rent before Botox.
Then I would be
Bills before Botox.
Shitty Botox.
Yeah.
I would, we'd go get a tent or whatever, and we would make an event out of it, right?
Yeah.
Be like, we can do it in the tent.
So before we sign off, you guys have got to
get kicked out of the KOA.
We're gonna, yeah. We're gonna, I'm gonna change the name of the stream when we're done, right? What do you guys think I should call this stream? Y'all can put in some ideas. Because that's what I do. As soon as we get done, I take a couple of minutes and I just change the name of it, and then I add some hashtags depending on what we talked about.
Andy was like, dumb bitch married for 10 years and too stupid to get alimony. God, I love seeing her. Chiclets, no, she was not married. Nobody's going to marry her, dumbass, before or after. No offense to Sean, but ain't nobody going to marry her. Mm-mm. She tried her best to get baby daddy to marry her, but...
Black Dragonfly, I think I will. Black Dragonfly said I should name the stream Facts About Chicken Vents.
People will be like, what?
I think so. That might be the winner.
Yeah, you're right. I remember the day that, within a couple of days when we closed on my house and we moved into it, right? And this was with my ex. And I remember going, this ain't my house. This is not my house.
First time I walked in there, I was like,
but I mean,
nice house.
I was sitting in the bathtub and I looked around and I was like, this is supposed to be, and it's not my house. It's not my house. My house ended up being here.
I came in,
right
walked
here
in, I went into the house. I was like, Are we all alone in this nice house? Are we alone? There's nobody can.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Yes, Presley, her best friend's funeral is Friday. She's having a rough time. Keep her in your prayers. And another mod has had, I'm not going to just, it's her story, but buried a loved one today, a Vietnam vet. A lot going on.
We had our friend, my best friend's father. It's been rough for a bunch of us. It's been, y'all know my best friend's father, my best friend from high school. His memorial service was a week ago today.
She's Bills before Botox. I don't want to forget.
Bills before Botox. Oh!
Yeah.
It might be that too. I'm going to say chicken vents, Bills before Botox.
But we're not.
And chicken vents.
We're not derailing yet. We're still in the moment with our friends. But I didn't want him to, no, but I just didn't want you to forget. That's why I said it. Yeah, there's.
Sometimes I wonder, like, in the winter, we lose people because the winter's tough. But it seems, we're coming through. We got through spring, and now we're moving into summer. This is a time where a lot of our a lot of people that we know and we love, their bodies have had enough.
Yeah. Wintertime and around Christmas time is also a time when a lot of people lose, especially older loved ones. Hey, stress mommy. But filters before everything. All of these. I wish we could put.
It was a house, not a home. Yup.
Maybe we'll do it. It was like I have felt more at home in a house with no dishwasher, living on the in England when my kiddos were little. Like that was, but
I don't know
a
if
house
you guys
doesn't make a home.
How many of y'all can go back when she was on the boardroom and when she was doing her Mrs. ATX? And did you see that one-story ranch style house in Austin? It's pretty nice. It was.
It was okay. I mean, it just was a house. It wasn't a home.
For me, just objectively, because I didn't have any emotion tied up into it. But
no sooner did we close, but everything hit the fan. Everything that you can think of hit the fan. And I always said it was a slow dying death of a marriage that probably, anyway, it doesn't matter. And with that, we love you guys.
What a great stream.
Yeah.
We went a little bit longer. I'm always blabbing about people that stream for 20 hours, blah, blah, blah. But,
20.
Hey.
Thank you for coming by, Robin.
If it works, it works.
Good to see Inked Mom and MB came by and Mom's and all of you cool people. Karen, everyone. We will see you again soon. The members vlog will be out in a couple of days. No, not a couple of days. By tomorrow. I'm always catching Monday footage. And you never know what we're going to say. Love you guys. Thank you.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.